Morning, everybody. Cam, are you there? You hosted it, so I'm guessing you are.
Well, hopefully I'm here.
Perfect. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome, hello, Cam. Thank you for setting this up. Obviously, I'm still drinking my self to death in Croatia, so hence why you've set this up. Welcome everyone to the Crypto Blast, where Cam from Institutional Fi, should I say, will be giving us the rapid roundup of the latest pricing flows and market moving using crypto markets. But before he does, I've got two things to do. One is the legals. Nothing discussed in the space of session constitute trading or investment advice from firms, any kind of endorsement by PIQ, Institutional Fi, Cam, or myself, Ryan Paisley. And two is to hold Cam accountable. I
Oh,
am a believer in not letting my friends slide if I see standards drop, especially when it's something that if they weren't my friend, I would definitely pull them up. So I'm going to pull you up on something.
go on.
You posted a chart earlier, but
Ah, right.
as at today, for the first time since Jan 2024, Bitwise Invest has overtaken ARK B and is now in third place. Right?
Ah,
What the fuck? What, third place for what? In terms of how many potatoes they own. What are we talking about? There's no label on the chart. What is this a chart of that you posted?
did it say 2024? Yeah, since first time of last year. Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah.
the list of Bitcoin spot ETFs. That's what that was.
So that
In
so
their
that's
weightings.
what the price of the bit. So what's the scale on the left hand side? The two
The
thousand.
volume, I believe.
Believe you're the one that posted it.
That is true. You probably called me
Ah,
up on that one,
well,
eh?
I'm just holding people to account. I'm doing what the listeners demand. But anyway, right, that's a black mark
Right.
against you.
So
Right,
let's,
what's been
before we
occurring
start
in
off,
crypto
actually.
markets, my friend? Now I've dug you out.
Yeah, well, what is
What?
the drink
Sorry.
of choice today? I really want to get jealous.
It's the current. Well, started off on a couple of mimosas, obviously. But now
Obviously.
I'm on the Fernet Branca and Coke, and I'm going to have a Hugo after this, which is kind of like an elderflower mojito, if you want to think of it that way.
Wow.
But
Very
enough
flowery.
about me and my high functioning alcoholism. What's been occurring in the real world?
Well, I was actually going to start off with a little plug saying that today's
Oh,
spaces are brought to you
not
by
anymore though.
PIQ Suite, but who knows? Yeah, of course. We do these spaces quite regularly as the PIQ space, the account isn't hosting today. I thought we'd shed some light on the amazing news
Oh,
aggregation platform that is
stop it.
PIQ. It's one of the only places that you can go to if you want to keep up with market moving news. If you want to learn from the CME Group trading courses while watching market
Oh,
media, looking
stop
at
it.
all the latest stuff that Trump's been posting all over social media, well, it's that all in one
And
platform you can
and
go to.
also the AI is slowly getting increasingly rolled out. I think we call it advanced beta testing at the moment. But yeah, you'll be able to ask it questions and all that malarkey, and it'll tell you everything that's been going on whilst you've been away from your desk. Virtual squawks as well. So if a headline that matters to you is drops in anywhere, it will read it out for you, so you don't have to miss it if you're not reading the screen, etc., etc. But I very much appreciate the plug, and I feel really bad for digging you out. Well played.
Well, there we go.
You've Uno'd reversed it on me, and I feel terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Right. Let's crack on with what's been
Yeah, let's
happening
get
with the
on with
crypto
it.
markets. Right. So starting with Bitcoin. If you've been hiding under a rock this week, you'd been forgiven to think that, well, it's actually been quite a quiet week in the markets as Bitcoin sits only 0.6% up from where it opened on Monday at $118,990. Nevertheless, it's been anything but quiet. BTC, along with the broader crypto market, rallied to new all-time highs. On Thursday, ahead of PPI data release, Bitcoin reached $124,550. However, this run was cut short as BTC quickly gave back all of those gains and then some, retracing around 6% the day following the PPI print there that came in hotter than expected. The pain did not stop there. This reaction in the spot markets led to an aggressive liquidation event across the crypto sector. We saw well over $1 billion in leverage cleared out from the order books across multiple exchanges. And this caused a significant downwards trend for the top performing altcoins, the likes of ADA, SUI and Solana. They retraced more than 11% on the day yesterday. Despite the sell pressure that followed during the US trading session, the outlier was Ethereum, closing the day around 5%. Its ETH BTC pair came in flat over the day, which is quite interesting. So if we take a look at the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs, it might be able to give us a bit of an insight as to what drove the demand toward Ethereum away from BTC. And that is the Bitcoin spot ETFs brought in $230 million yesterday, whilst the Ethereum spot ETF saw over double that in inflows, with $639 million going into the Ethereum ETFs there. So, yeah, another huge day for the Ethereum ETFs. And it's looking like, unless we see, $1 billion of outflows on the ETH side, it's going to close its week with the 14th consecutive week of net inflows for ETH. Yeah, massive job that they've been doing over there. So looking down the market cap list, XRP is currently trading at $3.11, BNB at $847 after making a new all-time high of over $160. Solana is trading at $195. It lost its $200 price point yesterday. So jumping into the news, we've got quite a bit, so we'll work through it. Circles announced the launch of Arc, an open layer 1 blockchain designed to provide enterprise grade infrastructure for stablecoin payments, foreign exchange and capital market applications. The network is EVM compatible, that's the Ethereum virtual machine, and uses USDC as its native gas token. Arc is expected to launch its public testnet later this fall. If you're here in the UK, that just means autumn. The SEC has officially ended its lawsuit against Ripple. We keep going on about this case. It seems to be ended, but it keeps popping up in the news headlines. The Commissioner Hester Pierce and Paul Atkins said that the agency will now shift their focus toward drafting clearer crypto regulatory frameworks that support innovation and investor protection. Of course, this case had alleged that Ripple raised $1.3 billion through unregistered XRP sales. Can we just leave it in the grave now and move on?
Yeah.
So according to Bloomberg, Terraform Labs co-founder Do Kwon may plead guilty in the US fraud case over the $40 billion collapse of Terra USD stablecoin in 2022. The US district judge has set a change of plea hearing for Tuesday and asked Kwon to be ready to explain his conduct. His lawyer did not respond to a request for comment. Paxos has applied to the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the OCC, to convert its New York State trust charter into a national trust charter. If approved, Paxos will come under federal oversight in the U.S., complementing its existing regulatory licenses that they have in Europe, in Singapore and Abu Dhabi. The Nasdaq-listed Fundamental Global announced that it had acquired 47,331 ETH using its entire $200 million private placement. The company will stake and restake its holdings to participate in Ethereum-based RWAs and stablecoin yield strategies, with Anchorage Digital providing custody and Galaxy serving as the asset manager. In breaking news that we had this week, Ethereum treasury company Bitmine released a supplementary prospectus stating that they are increasing the total amount of common stock that they may be sold under the sales agreement of up to $24.5 billion. Yes, with a B. 24.5 billion. Yes. So this is compromising of up to $2 billion under the prospectus, $2.5 billion under the prior prospectus supplement, and an additional $20 billion under this prospectus supplement. I mean, if you need a lawyer degree, and several other financial degrees to be able to understand their capital raises, it might not be the investment product for you, but who am I to say? So this is following the release of the document following the release of this document that they published the other day. Ethan rallied to over $4,600. Pantera Capital has invested over $300 million in digital asset treasuries, which are being called DATs. So they're DAT companies, which hold crypto on their balance sheets to grow the tokens per share. Something I'm sure we're very, very familiar with being in the news recently. The firm said that DATs can trade at a premium to NAV if investors expect sustained per share NAV growth. Pantera recently raised 2 DApp-focused funds, but didn't really disclose their sizes. So, yeah. Nasdaq-listed Alt5 Sigma completed a $1.5 billion registered direct offering and private placement led by World Liberty Financial, and will adopt a World Liberty Financial treasury strategy that holds 7.5% of World Liberty Financial's total supply. So that is the token of World Liberty Financial, LSFI. World Liberty Financial CEO Zach Witkoff was named as the Alt5 chairman. Eric Trump joined as director, and Kraken will act as the asset manager there. CMB International Asset Management has partnered with Singapore licensed RWA exchange DigiFT to complete the on-chain tokenization of the CMB International USD Money Market Fund, which will be deployed on the Solana, Ethereum, Arbitrum, and Plume public blockchains. The fund is also the first publicly offered fund that sits on Solana globally. Metaplanet released its Q2 financial report. Metaplanet holds 18,118 BTC, ranking 4th globally in their Bitcoin holdings and 1st in Asia. They raised over $242 billion in Japanese yen to purchase BTC year to date and achieved a Bitcoin yield of 468%, but that's not a surprise that their, Bitcoin per share is up because they've aggressively increased their Bitcoin purchases. Crypto service provider Aquanow has partnered with SGB, a digital bank regulated by the Central Bank of Bahrain. The partnership enables Aquanow clients to seamlessly convert between crypto and fiat, open USD-dominated regulated bank accounts, settle transactions in real time via SWIFT infrastructure, and transfer funds 24/7 across major global currencies. So, yeah, another way of just opening, the doors up for
reducing those barriers to entry, my
that's
friend.
exactly
Reducing the barriers to entry, and more of that, please.
Exactly, and regulated. Regulated is the key word there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
In a bit of a warning, so the Binance Chief Security Officer, Jimmy Su, said that North Korean hackers have become the biggest threat to the crypto industry, disguising as job applicants daily to infiltrate the company. Some use voice changes and deepfakes in interviews. They also launch attacks by poisoning open source code and poisoning high-paying recruiters. So, yeah, if you're hiring, and in the crypto space, or any space in particular, but specifically in the crypto space, please look out for these deep fakes in interviews, voice change, and all these mechanisms to come basically sneak in.
If Stephen Hawkins calls you up, you've got a spot bother.
Well, she gave me a call today. What are you saying? It wasn't him? So the US social media company Thumbs Up has completed a secondary public offering under the effective shelf registration, raising approximately $50 million to expand into cryptocurrency mining. What is that raise? A raise for ants? $50 million. Come on, guys. We do bigger numbers than that. Oh, wait. There you go. Here's one for you, Ryan. Bitwise Europe just retweeted my chart that he slagged off a second ago. So there we go. So according to the Rage, this was hilarious, and someone at Google is going to get fired. So Google Play Store introduced a policy requiring cryptocurrency wallet developers in 15 jurisdictions, including the US and EU, to obtain licenses before publishing, such as, European, licenses such as MiCA, US licenses such as the FinCEN, MSB. So this rule applied to both custodial and non-custodial wallets, imposing requirements that most non-custodial wallets could never meet. There was a massive backlash that we saw online into this updated agreement policy. So Google Play clarified that its cryptocurrency exchange and software wallet policies does not apply to non-custodial wallets, and they said that they'll update the help center to reflect that immediately. So those changes have been made, and I'm sure someone might be about to lose their job on that one. This is going to be an Elon Musk link story. So according to data from Arkham Intelligence, SpaceX Bitcoin holdings have exceeded $1 billion. The company holds a total of 8,285 BTC, having first acquired Bitcoin on December 31st of 2020, and their last purchase was made in June 10th of 2022. They proper bought the dip there, after which it's held the coins to date and they have not moved. The K33 Research, they released a data report that showed that Norway's sovereign wealth fund increased its indirect Bitcoin exposure by 192% last year. The fund now holds 7,161 BTC indirectly through investments in companies like Strategy, Metaplanet, and Coinbase. Here's one which might show a bit of effect in the markets sometime later in a week or so. So according to Beacon Chain data, the amount of ETH in Ethereum validator exit queues has bounced back sharply, with over 700,000 ETH worth over $3.2 billion currently waiting to exit, estimated to see a clearance time of around 12 days. So some heavy sell pressure could be coming into ETH over the coming weeks. The Hong Kong SFC issued new guidance for virtual assets trading platforms to strengthen the custody standards, citing global security incidents and gaps found in recent review. The circular outlines minimum requirements for wallet infrastructures, access controls and management oversights, forming part of the SFC's Aspire roadmap. Yesterday, we saw Bitcoin miner TeraWulf sign 2 10-year hosting agreements with AI cloud platform FluidStack to provide over 200 megawatts of AI infrastructure, totaling around $3.7 billion. Google will back the deal with up to $1.8 billion in guarantees and receive about 8%